and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm doing something a little bit different. So recently I picked up the game Run8 Train Simulator, which is this really cool North American freight, really freight focused and a little bit of Amtrak simulation. And it's a very cool game. I'd like to show it off on the channel. I've really gotten into it this past week or so. And yeah, I just want to hop right in. I thought an Amtrak train would be a good kind of easy start into the sim for video. I thought of doing a local job, but I thought maybe that would take a little bit long for an introduction video. So basically, I'm picking up control of this Amtrak Southwest Chief eastbound outside of Barstow Yard, and I'm going to see how long it takes to take it into the Barstow Amtrak station, and you know, after that we'll see how long that takes, and we'll maybe take it a little bit further. But anyways, let us proceed. So I've already got this train set up and running. We're waiting in front of a signal here. I'll have to punch in the, yeah, that's our conductor. I'll have to punch in the radio station. But first, let's set up the headlights. I've already set all the circuit breakers and stuff on. Let's see, our track speed limit 79 right now, reduction 65, and about 2 miles. Let's see, the MFD multifunction displays are as I would like them. Set the reverser to forward. I'm going to raise the independent brake, let off the handbrake. And let's see here. Our number is channel 32, DTMF 15. So on some of the trains, they have actual dynamic displays for the radio. On this one, I think it's a bit of an older model, so that isn't present. But DTMF star 13. Auto, the auto dispatcher is already turned on, so we don't have to worry about that. Request signal. Roger. Proceed on signal indications. Let's poke our head out the window and see what that says. We have proceed. Close the window up again. Alright. And yeah, let's roll. Well, actually, I'm just gonna check. It says the EOT marker is off. Let's just see that is set up right. I know I hit the EOT, auto EOT, but just did all that again anyways. So control F11. Oh, that probably reset. No, it didn't reset my brakes. Alright. Handbrake is still off. Set the reverser forwards. Alright. Let us... I'm just gonna make sure I'm still on the right channel. That is channel 32. Alright. And Amtrak, or, well, auto should route us into the Amtrak station. At least that's what I'm hoping. If he doesn't, then we're just gonna say there were problems at the station, and so we had to skip that stop. But, let's go. So, throttle up, let off the independent brake. Listen to that engine throttling up. It's already, so when you have the head end power on, these engines just stay at 900 RPM pretty much the whole time. So you don't hear any, well, you do hear a change in throttle. Switches are lined for another train right now. I assume that he'll just stop us when we get to that point. That's usually what happens. But, yeah. So you obviously hear the turbo throttling up, and you hear a more intense pitch to the engine, but the RPM stays the same, because it's running head-end power off of, I believe, an inverter. Or an alternator, or some such thing. So what is our gradient? Plus 0.30%. I don't actually know our distance from here. Okay. Yeah, we don't have very far to the Amtrak station. Though, right now you wouldn't guess we're on the edge of a very busy yard. Yep, we are moving. Very nice. This train does have cruise control. Oh, and crossing up ahead. There we go. This train does have cruise control. I don't know how much use we'll be able to make of it. Looks like our 65 is coming up soon. So actually, why not engage the cruise control now? You engage that using the slow speed control button. 30 speed limit and 2.5 miles. Okay. So I apologize in advance if I fat finger any of the wrong buttons, or if I have to tab out of the sim to check my controls. I am still pretty new to this game, and it uses a very different control layout. And oh, looks like the alerter's on. And looks like we are picking up speed, so I might want to get on the dynamic brake. We'll see. So that's an approach signal, I believe. So speed control off. Let's lock in some heavy dynamics, because there is a speed reduction coming up ahead, and we're going into a slow signal. Yeah, approach medium. Just want to be nice and slow. Usually, I mean, this is out west. You have pretty good visibility of signals, so you don't have to be going terribly slow to be able to stop in time for them. But, excuse me, it's still best practice to be slow. Looks like we're crossing over a section of the yard. There we go. Oh yeah. You can hear, yeah. Well, You don't hear it super loud right now. There you go. When I do that, you can hear the dynamic brake bands. 30 mph should be fine. I do wish that the cruise control on this locomotive was the more advanced kind that also automatically manages dynamic brakes. Oh, there's this is probably early enough that we should still dim our lights for the oncoming train. Though he's not dimming his lights, so I guess it doesn't matter. At nighttime, oncoming trains will, in fact, dim their lights for you, and you obviously should dim your lights then, as railroading best practices. Let's see where we are here. That was a slow approach signal, I believe. Yeah. Actually speeding a little bit, technically. So I should probably be going even slower than 30 if the zone is 30 and that's an approach signal. But that is likely because we're going to stop and wait for a signal. I have my headlights on full, right? Yeah. That sun is shining, I guess, a little bit bright. Not really that bright. This game doesn't have a lot of the fancy HDR effects that some other Sims have. But you still do get to see the sun hanging on the horizon and the stars at night and such. There is no, you can't do anything with the blinds on the train, so unfortunately. The cabin interaction is it's kinda in the middle. You get more cabin interaction than you get on some trains in Train Sim Classic. Less cabin interaction than you get on other trains in Train Sim Classic and in Train Sim World. It's kind of in the middle. There's a bunch of stacked containers. Intermodal train. I really wish we got to see intermodals around where I live. Unfortunately, we just don't have the clearances for them. But, yeah, looks like that is a... Is that a red or is it a stop and proceed? When I say red, I mean stop. Danger, even. But let's see here. Oh yeah, we're being routed into the Amtrak station. Very good. Rightfully have signaling priority. This game does actually do that. For the auto signaler, first priority is Amtrak trains, then second priority is Z trains, you know, BNSF and UP's fast moving freight trains, typically intermodals. And below that is everything else, user trains and other freight trains. But I do like that signaling priority is properly set up for auto in this game. Probably showing my lack of knowledge pretty heavily here. I don't know what a red over flashing red is. Probably stop and ask auto for a signal. So, on the brakes here. almost come to a slow stop. And of course, this being a early modern passenger train, you know, a GE Genesis, 90s passenger locomotives, these do have blended braking, which is always nice to have. I love blended braking. But, let's see what Otto has to say. Probably being overly cautious here, but this is a signal I really don't know. All hail Amtrak, king of the rails, awesome. I do love the references in this game. Is he not gonna say anything about that signal? I'm gonna guess it's a stop and proceed then. My somewhat limited knowledge. Oh, I still have my window open. What's that? So if I had to guess, it's signaling that I am changing rails. I know that a red over green means diverging clear. So let's just coast now. Yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed by my lack of knowledge here. I will admit though, it's not a signal I've... Excuse me. Not a signal I've seen before. And unfortunately, I'm out of coffee. I do love the way this game renders mountains. The way you can see them a bit shrouded in fog in the distance. So let's just roll through this signal here. Having stopped, and we are now proceeding. We'll see what it says up top here, where the previous signal was once we passed it. Restricting. I see. And looks like we have a slow, very slow speed reduction coming up. Oh, that is in fact our Amtrak station, I believe. We'll be shimmying on over to it. Unfortunately, this game does not show passengers at stations, but, you know, my favorite Train Sim Classic route doesn't do that either, unfortunately, so I'm used to it. My favorite being the New Zealand-Midland line. But, yeah, I am unfortunately pretty used to that, even though it is a very nice feature to have. Makes the world feel a little bit more alive. You will see there are a couple of, or a few statue-like Amtrak personnel and possibly a passenger waiting at the station. But other than that, nothing. So let's whistle, signal that we are coming into the station. listen to that bell a little bit. There we go. Oh hey, and you can hear them honking too. That is very nice. That's something I wish Train Sim Classic and Train Sim World did. Other trains honking at whistle posts. So let's slow down here. By the way, how about that Jays game last night? 11-4 versus the Dodgers. That's a pretty nice score. Pretty happy with that result. So I'm gonna stop. Let's see, I'm just gonna put the distance counter on here. I'm gonna say the distance we should stop at is something like 290. For the baggage car and the locomotives clear of the platform. Might be going too far forward, but turn the bell off, and we have now pulled into the station. So I'm just gonna hop out on foot quick. Yeah, I pulled too far forwards. I think I vastly overestimated the length of the locomotives in the baggage car, but that's fine. It's still, I think this is still considered part of the platform. But yeah, you can see a train of superliners, lounge car, or do they call it a lounge car or a viewing car? I'm not sure. But you know, very cool, absolutely famous part of Western railroading, these cars. Just iconic to the long-distance Amtrak routes out west. And this game does also have the Viewliners and the Amfleet cars. Viewliners obviously being the newest out of the whole bunch compared to Superliners and Amfleets. Superliners and Amfleets are both a vintage, 70s vintage. But I don't know that they use Amfleets or Amfleets or Viewliners on the western long-distance routes. I think those are more native to the east. And there are eastern routes in this game. I don't have any at the moment. Excuse me, I probably will at some point. I mean, obviously that would be very cool. I'm not sure if I'd go for northeast or southeast. You know, I'd have to figure that one out with my buying strategy. But, yeah. So, it's a good view of our train we got there. Let me see how long the recording's at. 24 minutes. So, let's see. UP train will be passing there. Hobby sub. Now we'll be heading out onto the Needle sub. The problem is there aren't any really good sensible stopping points. I mean, we kind of didn't start at a very ordinary point that would have been to start. Typically, when I'm doing the Amtrak Southwest Chief, I start off in Barstow or Needles and then proceed to either one. But, yeah. I may just call the video here, but yeah, I think I will. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that quick little Amtrak jaunt. If you'd like to see more Run8 train simulator videos, then make sure to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye for now.